Hello, welcome to the Eclectic Reader. Listen to great books and stories while you use your eyes and hands for other things. Now here's your host, Madison Mason.
Hi, it's Madison Mason. Well, the focus shifts with Chapter 38 of The Gray Quarry Boys. The Gray Quarry Boys, Chapter 38, Bonnie Bumgardner. The ragged screen door slammed with a flap. Craven Bumgardner shuffled out onto the porch and yawned. He scratched his crotch and tried to adjust his narrow squint to the dusty glare of morning. A mean horsefly droned angrily around his head, and he rubbed his mess of dirt-colored hair and watched the chickens peck in the dust by the step. Craven took a long time to come around in the mornings. "Craven, don't you slam that damn door again, or I'm gonna smack you upside your—" His sister's nasty voice scraped the morning and made it hurt. She dragged the tattered ironing board across the linoleum inside and set it near the sink to be next to the radio and her cold coffee. Craven gave her a lazy finger behind his back and yawned again as the warm breeze brought the scent of the rabbit pins to his freckled nose. He hated his older sister. He thought she was a turd. She always picked at him and made his life miserable for as long as he remembered. But Craven hated most everything. He wasn't a happy kid. He hated his name, Craven. He knew it meant coward, and why the hell they had chosen to name a kid Coward was more than he could fathom. Old Hank Bumgardner must have reckoned it would make him stronger having to overcome a setback like that, like original sin or something. But it had the effect of making him not give a damn about anything. That was the way he felt this morning. And Luleen better leave him the hell alone, he thought. He knew something on her, something dirty. He wandered back into the kitchen, making sure to let the door slam good and hard, and took satisfaction in seeing his sister's shoulders jump up near her ears. "God damn you, you little, I warned you!" She was around the board with a wildcat pounce, her eyes mean and her skinny lips pulled hard across her teeth, ready to grab his hair and slap his face red, her favorite punishment. Craven stood his ground. When she reached for his top lock, he deftly blocked the claws, looked her in the eyes, and spat, "Convertible," with all the contempt his hate-filled heart could master. It felt so good. Luleen stopped like she had been hit with a bucket of ice water. The breath disappeared out of her into the still kitchen, lost in the nasal wails of Hank Williams crying the white man's blues. Midnight train whining low. Luleen turned away and tried to conjure how in the world he could know. Craven almost smiled. It felt so good, like sticking a nail through a black beetle and watching it squirm. She was impaled by his knowledge, and he relished every atom of that moment. But he didn't smile. Craven never smiled. Taciturn, always defeated, he seldom won or got to gloat, but he was gloating now. They froze in a silence broken only by Hank Williams' agony when their mother walked into the room. "Are y'all at it again? I swear to God. Craven, go get them eggs, now. Luleen, you think I'm doing that ironing, you got another thing coming, girl. Get." Bonnie Bumgardner broke the weld of their standoff by shoving her full 300 pounds between them and moving it toward the ancient refrigerator. Her lardy arms were squeezed at the pits by the edge of her Hawaiian pink house dress, house tent more like it, and her massive bulk had begun to perspire in the wet heat of the backcountry morning. She smelled sweet to Craven in her flip-flops, and he got a good whiff. He left the kitchen and let the door finish his exit with a mean slam that sent acid into the pit of his sister's stomach and loathing into her heart. They were not a happy family. Craven's father was a signalman with the Great Southern Railway before the freak night accident left him severed at the waist, as the story goes. I'll tell you that one later. That was 2 hard years ago. His mother took to eating as a means of forgetting and became a massive monument to her dead husband's memory. They lived on the railroad pension. The mortgage on their scrubby farm was paid by sharecroppers who felt lucky to be eating and never dreamed that they were buying the white people's land for them. There wasn't much money, but then there was nowhere to spend much money anyway. They raised chickens and rabbits. Craven hunted the woods, and his sister gave it away for cheap gifts and rides in nice cars. Bonnie Bumgardner was scrawny, but blessed with budding teen flesh, which made her popular with the boys from Jefferson City. She was one of those country girls who, as she aged, would turn dust bowl seer and drawn from the bitter anger eating her within. When she was 21, she would look 30 if she didn't get out of Gray Quarry. Craven opened the wire door of the chicken coop and walked slowly across the straw, being one with the chickens and not ruffling a single feather. The clucking hens protested softly as he gently lifted each off her straw nest and checked for eggs. He stroked their shiny backs and necks like one would pat a faithful dog. He thought how much he loved the design of a chicken. He never killed them. He left that for his mother, the chopping of the head and the plucking. He would kill anything else, rabbit, squirrels, deer, gut and skin them without a pang, but he loved his chickens, and he felt one with them. Sometimes when he had the blues, he would sit in the coop with several hens on his lap, cover himself with them like a blanket, and go to sleep. He loved only them. They loved him. They were always calm when Craven was with them. He walked back across the barren backyard to the house with the treasure of warm eggs in his hands and scraped the droppings from the soles of his feet. He'd catch it if he tracked chicken shit in the house. He opened the door with his toes and made sure to let it slam behind again. "Craven, honey," his mother sighed in exasperation. "Sorry, Mama. What time is it?" Bonnie Bumgardner checked the thin Timex watch embedded in her wrist, cutting off the circulation to her puffy hand. 20 from 9, darling." "Why, you got some important business appointment," spat Luleen, venom cutting through Kitty Wells's voice. "Matter of fact, I do," he shrugged, taking solace in the wisdom that whatever he said would irk her no end. He thought of Spring Hollow and Benny Morse and the 10 o'clock appointment. Appointments you only have once in a blue moon and you don't forget. He flopped at the table and pursed his chapped lips. He stretched out, savoring his secret, while hillbilly music oiled the morning air and his hated sister pondered him from her side of the kitchen.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of The Eclectic Reader. Please go on to the next numbered episode to continue. Also, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you'd like to help support the project, you can donate under Madison Mason at Patreon. And please, check out our website, kltkrdr.com, for more information.
Hi, this is Madison Mason. I want to personally thank you for listening to The Eclectic Reader and invite you to share your experience, your thoughts, and your suggestions. We have many great books lined up for the future, but if you have requests for anything that is in the public domain, please email us at kltkrdr@gmail.com.
kltkrdr@gmail.com